Good morning, standard students. Now I shall take the story from here when Joe Thompson had already kept Maggie on the top floor, placed her on a bed, and then he comes to meet his wife to give an explanation as to why he had brought Maggie to the house. Okay. And he knew that his wife would not be too happy for the work that he has done. Okay. Now the reason is she is a vinegar tempered lady, a short tempered lady who doesn't have any feelings for children. So when he meets his wife in the passageway outside, you haven't brought home that sick brat. Anger and astonishment were in the tones of Mrs. Joe Thompson. Her face was in a flame. She was very irritated, very angry. He says, I hope you have not brought that sick brat to this house. Okay. Now, could you imagine how furious she was? Her face had turned red with anger. I think women's hearts are sometimes very hard. So Joe Thompson passed a comment on the nature of women. So I think women's hearts are hard. Now that's a contradictory statement. Because when we talk about a woman, we talk about a gender which is very kind, soft-hearted, generous, a peaceful, loving person. So it was a contradictory statement, a comment passed by him. Usually Joe Thompson got out of his wife's way or kept rigidly silent and not combative when she fired up on any subject. It was with some surprise, therefore, that she now encountered a firmly set countenance and a resolute pair of eyes. Now, Mrs. Thompson was shocked to see Joe Thompson speak to her in that manner. Never in their married life did Joe Thompson retaliate or fought back if his wife argued over something, or if his wife screamed at something, or whether she was making her decision. He would never interfere with her, and neither he would contradict or put some restrictions. So this strange behavior of Joe Thompson now gave his wife a little jhatka. Okay, she knew that there is something now is making my husband be very bold. She could see the change in Joe Thompson's eyes and the manner in which he spoke to her. Never before he had spoken to her in this particular manner. Women's hearts are not hard, so hard as men's. So she contradicted that statement. He says women's hearts are very hard. But because she saw a sudden change in Joe Thompson's way of speaking and the way he is now confronting her face to face, so she passed another comment. Women's hearts are half as bad as men, because it is the nature of man to bully his wife, to beat his wife, to scold his wife, since he is stronger. So she took it in that sense, because never before Joe Thompson spoke in this manner to her. So she was talking on those grounds, that men are also bad, like the way you are talking to me now. So that was her reaction. That is what she was actually trying to explain. It had nothing to do with the case. He was talking about the case, about the women that were present in the poor beggar woman's house. His wife took it personal because she saw a sudden change in Joe Thompson's behavior and talk. Joe saw, by a quick intuition, at once he knew that this comment had worked. It has made a change. He has made his wife to think. That his resolute bearing had impressed his wife, and he answered quickly and with real indignation, with confidence. Now he knows, now I got the better of my wife, now let me do the talking. Be that as it may, every woman at the funeral turned her eyes steadily from the sick child's face. So the first proof, so at the lady's funeral, the sick child was sitting down over there, and the women that were present over there didn't even look at that sick child. When we talk about feminine qualities, so none of them had that. Nobody was showing pity on that sick child. And when the cart went off, the coffin, the hearse went off with her dead mother, hurried away. These women did not even wait. As soon as the cart left with the dead body, all these women just left the house abruptly, in a haste. They didn't wait to, console the child, love her for some time, share her pain. They just hurried away and left her alone in that old hut, with the sun not an hour in the sky. So that is what he meant. He is giving his wife an explanation why he meant that women's hearts are hard. Because none of them at the funeral felt pity on the sick child. As soon as the dead body left, they also hurried away and left that poor sick child alone. So, and now it is going to be dark. Where were John and Kate? Asked Mrs. Thompson. Where are the other two children? Farmer Jones tossed John into his wagon and drove off. Catty went home with Mrs. Ellis, but nobody wanted the poor sick one. Send her to the poor house, was the cry. Why didn't you let her go? If everyone demanded that this girl should go to the poor house, then why didn't you allow her to go there? Why did you bring her here for? She can't walk to the poor house. Joe Thompson replied, she cannot walk. Somebody's arms must carry her, and mine are strong enough for that task. So somebody has to carry this girl. And I felt that my arms are strong enough to do this task. Then why didn't you keep on? Means why didn't you continue your journey to the poor house? Why did you stop here? What made you bring the girl here? When they all suggested that she should go to the poor house, Fine, she couldn't walk, you carried her. Now you could carry her to the poorhouse also. What made you bring her to the house? Because I am not apt to go on fool's errands. Says I am not going to dance to people's foolish suggestions. Okay? I'm not going to do their work whenever they feel like or whatever they feel like. Now there is a procedure. First, I have to meet the guardian. I have to seek the guardian. And then I have to take permission. Permission has to be granted by the guardian whether he or they would want the child to be put in the poorhouse. So I cannot do all by myself. There was no gainsaying this. When will you see, the guardian was asked with irrepressible impatience. Tomorrow. Why put it off till tomorrow? Go at once for the permit and get the whole thing off your hands tonight. So why wait for tomorrow? Go now. Go and meet the guardian. Fast. Take the permission and hand over the girl to the poorhouse. Why wait for tomorrow when the work can be done today itself? But Joe Thompson was adamant that when he said tomorrow means I will do the work tomorrow. Okay, thank you. And I shall be sending the soft copy of question and answers from a different reference book. Thank you.